all the attention, seemingly. I was scratching her and all her sweet spots and giving her some above the tail love pets. She's a big fan of the love pets. She gets so into it. When she's really excited, she'll start acting like she's eating the air, and she started doing that while I was patting her and scratching her. She looks so funny because she looks so happy, but it's just silly reaction. Just chomping at the air because there's nothing there. It's not like I was putting my hand up to give her anything. It's just she started doing it one day and never stopped. Funny stuff. It's nice that she wasn't so against hanging out with me, and she was she barked at me a few times today and yesterday, but may or may not be related, but she was a little nicer. She wasn't as bad as she usually is, and if she did bark, it wasn't as crazy. Maybe a few here, maybe a few there. Little improvement. I don't know how to get her on anyone with my dad's side, because usually the only time my dad's gone is in the nighttime, maybe sometimes in the morning or the afternoon or the evening, usually for a doctor or something to do with his band or a random errand that he didn't bring her on, or an open mic night. But typically, since he doesn't have a job, he's home pretty much all the time. But when he does go out, she's never alone. It's usually me and my mom, or one of us, depending on the scenario. And then when the both of them are gone, she acts like she's alone. She always acts like she's alone if my dad's not there. She's such a weird little dog. Maybe when she gets older, she's not that old. She's only like 5-ish, maybe. I don't remember. They got her in 2018, actually, ironically, from right here, to the right, at the Humane Society. And that's when she was all right, but then my dad fractured his leg and he couldn't walk for a month and a half, and that's when she got all obsessed because she just lived in the room with him and he didn't really do much until later on towards the end when he could walk again, when he got the okay. And ever since then she's been so smitten. I don't really care, it's just odd. Never had a dog that has that kind of personality. But to be fair, even though I'm 33, I've only had 2 dogs. One was, I think, full pit bull, as far as I know, rescue, that I mentioned in my last video from yesterday. And then the dog my parents got me for my birthday in 2002. She was like, they think she was pit bull and maybe lab or something like that. Maybe lab or German Shepherd and pit bull, or maybe a little bit of all 3. Hard to say. Or I'm trying to think of this other kind of dog that looked a lot like her. It's just she had the face that kind of looked like a pit bull, but it was her body that kind of made you be iffy. Well, not iffy, just not be able, I should say not be able to tell. Great dog. She had a few kinks to work out the first few months, but she was abandoned and didn't didn't really know how to deal with people, actually paying attention to her and not being left outside. The first few months of having her, we'd have to check on her in the backyard because she was so used to not being let back in. It's like she thought she was punished, or she just had that mentality where she thought, oh, I'm going outside, I better not make any noise. So the first few months, we just wait a few minutes if we didn't go out with her, and then have her until my dad installed the doggy door. We just wait a few minutes and let her in. But later on, when she was more comfortable and acted more like a dog, then she'd let you know if before the doggy door and after, if we had it closed for whatever reason, if it was too cold. Not a very well kept dog. She was super scrawny when they first brought her home. You could see all of her bones. It was a sad sight. I was sad when we had to put her down, but it would have seemed more cruel to have kept her alive any longer, just because she had some reaction to something. I think it was something in her food or something else, and she had a few lumps on her which looked like tumors, and her eyes weren't looking too good. So we finally just came to our senses and decided one day to do it then, just because she was only getting worse. Kind of unfortunately cutting it close, but we had her for a really long time, and I think that may have been I could be wrong, the longest time my parents ever had a dog, because they had two when they were before me and my brother were born, but then they were around for a little bit after I was born, but then they got rid of them. One was a husky wolf dog mix, I think. I don't know. And then the other one was a Saint Bernard. So, but then once they had dogs as kids because both their parents liked dogs, but growing up, after they got rid of the two dogs they had before we were born, I didn't have one until I was 14, which was 2002. So that may have been the longest. I don't know how long they had the Saint Bernard and the husky.